Once upon a time, there was a girl named Flora. She was a student. One day, she went to university. That day, she was supposed to have a meeting with the other students about a topic. Among all those students, there was a boy she didn't know. She had never seen him before. In short, during these few days of coming and going and important meetings with the university director, the boy accompanied her, but the girl didn't pay attention to the boy. The boy's name was Michael. Michael had fallen in love with the girl and told the girl that after the girl accepted, their first date would be to the cinema. Both were stressed and excited. Michael gently took Flora's hand in the theater when they were sitting next to each other. Their eyes locked, and the boy gently kissed Flora's lips and said, "I love you." Time kept passing by. Both lived with their families. Mike worked late every night, and Flora would wait for him to come home to text him saying he was safe. They'd talk late into the night, and he often fell asleep mid-conversation. Months went by until one day Flora's family encountered troubles, forcing her to break up with Mike. Every day and night, she would fall asleep thinking about Mike. Alone, she wandered the city where they made countless memories, which now felt bittersweet for both. Flora deactivated all her accounts. 2 months later, she accidentally stumbled upon an old email that seemed familiar. It was from Mike. It read, "Where are you, my dear? Just let me know you're okay. That's all I need." Tears streamed down Flora's face as she read it. She replied. After days of separation, they met again, hugged each other, cried, but ultimately felt happy together. Flora loved Mike very much, but Mike would annoy her with some of his actions and make her cry. Flora worked part-time, and Mike was an intern. Because of the low salary he received, he would always yell at Flora and make her upset. On Father's Day, Flora told Mike to go get a gift for his father, and they fought. The next day, he called and said, "Let's go out," but he said, "Go to hell. I don't want you." The next day, Flora went out to a restaurant with Mike's uncle and aunt. A few days later, as a sign of respect and gratitude, he sent a bouquet of flowers to Mike's uncle and aunt. But Mike and Mike's aunt argued with Flora, asking why she did this, saying, "You did wrong." Mike's aunt also said that Mike doesn't love you and that he has another girl in mind for him and that he is going to get married. Days passed, Flora couldn't work, and Mike left her alone. After 10 of the worst days that Flora had endured because of Mike's words, while she had been a therapist for days and couldn't sleep at night, remembering Mike's words. Flora wasn't upset about Mike's cruel words, nor was she even upset about Mike's insults. She was upset that Mike didn't believe any of her words and only cared about what her cousin said. Mike was Flora's support, but when he did this, he became unimportant to Flora. When he called Flora after a few days, he didn't care at all about what hard days and difficult moments Flora had gone through. He didn't even ask her or apologize to her. Even in Mike's opinion, they weren't bad words. It's funny that Mike defended a woman who said very bad things about him to Flora, and in Flora's eyes, he made him look like a man with no commitment and a coward. Days passed. Flora tried to be nice. If she wasn't nice, she would go to the movies and restaurants with Mike, but Mike would throw her away like a piece of trash whenever he got angry. He even threw her out of the car once and said, "Flora, go see Derek." Years passed. One night, Mike told Flora to go out with his college friends. Flora agreed. Flora went out with Mike and 2 or 3 of her friends a few times, and they had a great time. Mike's birthday was coming up, and Flora wanted to surprise him. She had heard from Mike's friend Robert that one of his friends worked at a hardware store, phones and tablets. So Flora arranged with Robert to go to that store with Robert under the pretext of touching his phone and buying a tablet or laptop for Mike's birthday. But Mike didn't know about this and thought Flora was cheating on him. He came and slapped Flora in the face and threw her out of the car and told Flora that she was a disgrace to me. After a lot of fighting, getting angry, and slandering Mike and looking at Flora with hatred in front of his friends, that night was her birthday, and her friends bought her a cake in the street. But for Flora, it was like poison that was poisoning her, because Mike only knew how to judge Flora and bully her. Flora couldn't even wish her a happy birthday because of Mike's mistreatment. She didn't even have the patience to wish her. 4 days later, it was Flora's birthday. Mike bought her a birthday cake, but it was for everyone else, not for Flora's happiness. It was almost New Year's holidays. Flora and Mike really wanted to travel together. They had not traveled together in all these years. Flora somehow got permission from her mother to travel. They were both very happy, especially Flora, who had never traveled alone, especially with her love. They bought their tickets and went shopping together for the trip. Mike bought a white cotton shoe for Flora. Flora loved it very much. They traveled together by bus, even though Flora had a cold. But because she was with Mike, she was very lovely, especially by the pond. Months passed after all the joy, happiness, sadness, and all the fights between Mike and Flora. They couldn't stay together and build their future together because Mike never wanted Flora. And this was the biggest and perhaps sweetest thing that Flora didn't want to accept. But she accepted that Mike had other plans, and all of Mike's friends and relatives told Flora this over and over again and told her to break up and build your life around someone who loved and wanted you. That was the reality. Finally, Flora accepted. The world seemed larger and more vibrant once Flora embraced her new reality. I'm so proud of you, Flora. You've really come a long way. Thank you, Maya. I feel like I'm finally ready to focus on myself and what truly makes me happy. It's been so long since I picked up a brush. I forgot how much I missed it. Art is a journey back to oneself. Welcome.